Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare So, dear devotees, you are welcome to today's IDC class. Yesterday, in our last class, that is Tuesday, we dealt with lesson 10. We dealt with lesson 9 and 10. We finished with 9, then we went into 10. We went halfway, and we decided to hang up for today, so that we can continue. So, a lot of beautiful things were discussed yesterday or in our last class. But we cannot really go over that now because we are late. But then, yesterday in our lesson 10, we started discussing Guru Vapu and Vani. Guru Vapu and Vani. And there we narrated a story of Narada Muni when he read the story of Sadhu Sangha, the sloka Sadhu Sangha Sarva Sastrakaya, Lava Mantra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Art. That a moment association with a pure devotee can give one all perfection. So he went to Vishnu to confirm, but he was wondering how that could be possible. Then Vishnu sent him to a village on earth to ask that question to a fish, newly born fish. He went there and asked the fish, how is it possible that a moment association with a pure devotee can grant one all perfection? Then immediately the fish left his body. He said, yes. He answered that, yes, it is possible. I immediately left the body. Then Narada rushed back to Vishnu again. I said, what has happened? Look at what happened. Vishnu said, please continue. Now go down to a particular village on earth again. There you will meet a newly born calf. Ask him the same question. He went there. The calf was there. He asked him the question. And immediately the calf said, yes, it is possible. I immediately left the body also. Then Narada rushed back to Vishnu, frantic. What am I doing? What are you using me to do? What is happening? I went to meet the calf and immediately he left the body also after answering that, yes, it's possible. So what are you doing? He said, Narada, is not over. You now go again to earth, and there you meet, in a particular village, you will meet a human child. Ask him the same question also. So Narada went there with full speed. And there he met the newly born baby. And he asked him, what is happening? Is it possible? How is it possible that by a moment association one can gain all perfection? Then immediately, but he added, don't leave your body, please. So the fish smiled, said, what? In fact, he laughed sarcastically, said, huh? Narada, you mean you can't recognize me? I am the same soul you met in the body of a newborn fish, in the body of a newborn calf, and now it's me again. So you can't recognize me. And he said, it is possible. Moment association can grant all perfection. And immediately he still left his body. And Narada come to realize, say, yes. He Narada himself is a great devotee of the Lord. And by associating with him, just a moment association with him, all these personalities are getting liberation. So we're relating it to our situation. That actually you can have association with a pure devotee, and you might not experience this immediate liberation because some attitudes are required. You have to be in a proper attitude when trying to relate with a pure devotee. You have to be in the proper attitude that we need to observe the Vaishnava etiquettes. That the Vaishnava etiquettes are actually the ornaments of a devotee. And these Vaishnava etiquettes, when observed, they serve like a fence, fencing us away from the influence of the external energy. And we're like children within that fence, fully protected. So we should observe Vaishnava etiquettes. It's a protective fence. And Vaishnava etiquettes, if we follow, it will strengthen us. It will strengthen us to follow the rules and regulations also given by the Guru, the instructions given by the Guru. So follow the Vaishnava etiquette, you get the strength to follow the instructions given by the Guru and the regulative principles. And also, we say that, secondly, we should also observe or always inform our Siksha and Diksha Gurus, whatever decision we are taking, or whatever major decision we want to take, we should seek for the permission, the blessings and guidance of our Siksha and Diksha Gurus. If we do so, Maya cannot, overwhelm us. And that permission, blessing, and guidance of the Guru, Siksha and Diksha combined will give us a shade to shelter us and keep us within the spiritual energy of the Lord. If we get our activities sanctioned by the Gurus, Siksha and Diksha, we come under the spiritual energy. So our protection is guaranteed. And in a nutshell, we say we should always observe the Vaishnava etiquettes because they are the ornaments of a devotee. And we should always let the spiritual masters, Diksha and Sikshas, know of our whereabouts and whatabouts. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, major activities, we should let them know. And that will always protect us. And then we went on to Vani Seva as the next topic, Vani Seva. And in Vaniseva, we talk about, in fact, that's where we were, because we said the Vaishnava etiquettes, they are there in the student handbook on page 50 of the student handbook. We should go and read. We should go and read about them. Then we come back and continue from there. And then that brought us to the next topic, which is inquiring from the Guru. Inquiring from the Guru. And inquiring from the Guru is part of Vaniseva, because Vaniseva means we are serving the instructions of the Guru. But Vapu Seva, on the other hand, means we are always in the physical presence of the Guru. We are relating the Guru in his physical presence. But Vapu means we are associating with the Guru by following his instructions. You see? And we were even discussing that sometimes instruction may be given and the disciple may not have the spiritual strength to implement it immediately. Say, but we say, under no circumstance should the instruction of the spiritual master be neglected. And we gave example of Srila Prabhupada, that the spiritual master instruction can be delayed, but it cannot be neglected. That Srila Prabhupada got his instruction from his guru in 1922. And he was able to implement it perfectly in 1966. That in between 1922 and 1966, Srila Prabhupada was preparing, meditating on the instruction of the Guru, and he was preparing seriously, and finally, he eventually implemented it. And we refer to Bhagavad Gita 2:41, that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Ekea Kurunandana, that resolute determination is the resolute determination to carry out the instructions of the spiritual master. That is the determination. If we are thus determined, then the spiritual master is always with us. We make sure that everything happens nicely. Okay? So let's continue. I wanted us to just flip through the Guru, Vapu, and Vaniseva. Guru, Vapu, and Vaniseva. Vapu means physical body. Vani means words or instructions of the Guru. Okay? And we quoted this Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Satrakai, Lava Mantra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi All. Then the verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment association with the pure devotee, one can attain all success. And we narrated the story of Narada Muni and the fish and the calf and the human baby. Then the same instructions are given here, that my dear Sanatan, this Lord Chaitanya speaking, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. The Vaishnava etiquettes are very important. If you protect the Vaishnava etiquettes will also protect you in return. Your spiritual life will be Sukam Kartum Avyayam. You will see no obstacle. Even obstacles come, you will see them as stepping stone to success. So your determination and your focus will be fixed. Then we say maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. That if one transgresses the laws of etiquette, people make fun of him and thus is vanquished in both this world and the next. And by observing the etiquette, you have satisfied my mind. So that is very important to act within the Vaishnava etiquette because they are the ornaments of a devotee. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning. But this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with great regard to the speaker. And this is where we are. Tad vidi paranipati na. Vaniseva, yes. Tad vidi pranipati na pari prasnena sevaya. Patikshanti te jnana, jnanina statva darsana. Vaniseva means pranipata, and that means no challenging spirit. And also pariprasna, meaning relevant inquiries. And then carrying out the instructions. Okay? You don't just go and ask the guru as a matter of intellectual exercise. Then you don't implement his instructions. No. It is not how much questions you ask the guru, it is how much you implement the instructions given by the guru. So make inquiries and be ready to implement the direction of the spiritual master. That is when you arrive. Okay? You must be ready to carry out the instructions of the guru. Otherwise, what is the use of your inquiry? Why do we inquire from the guru? We inquire from the guru in order to validate, to confirm that yes, what we are doing, what we're about to do, or what we are thinking is on track. The guru confirms it, he validates it, so that we can optimize. We are asking so that we can put the best in us in implementing the guru's instructions. And in that way, the guru will help us to go deeper. So we are inquiring from the guru in order to validate, optimize, and navigate. We are inquiring from the guru not for the sake of inquiry, but we are inquiring so that we can validate, we can confirm whether our understanding about the particular topic is actually on track or it is off track. So when we validate it, then we go in with intensity and focus in order to implement. Or while implementing, we put in all our best so that the spiritual master can help us navigate, it can help us to go deeper into the spiritual life. Okay? And by doing this, we must be very, very enthusiastic. We should be attentive to the spiritual master in the matter of taking instructions, and we should be enthusiastic in trying to carry out the orders of the spiritual master. Be attentive, be enthusiastic. Okay? Be attentive and be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm means giving life to. You give life to what you are doing. You do it with all your heart. So enthusiasm is very, very important. If you lose enthusiasm, you might lose out on everything. So that is it. And when we say Tad Vidi, try to approach the guru, inquire from him submissively. We mean we should be learning. We want to learn and live by the truth. So with that focus and determination, we are asking the guru questions so that he can clarify, he can validate, so that we can optimize so that it can take us deeper into the meaning of the scriptures. Okay? That is it. And most of the time, the instructions of the guru, they don't promote laziness. The gurus give instructions in order to take us out of our comfort zone. The question, the instructions given by the guru is not instruction for you to stay comfortable where you are, but they are mainly instructions to take you out of your comfort zones, so that you are looking up to meeting up with something. It's a challenge, kind of. It's dragging you out of your comfort zone. So those are the instructions it gives you. Like initially, we were all eating meat, fish or eggs, and all the rest. But the spiritual master give instructions that no eating of meat, fish, or eggs, because what you're about to do, go into, is a different energy level. And without practicing self-control, you cannot do it. So you have to give up your old ways and embrace the new ones. And that means things you have not heard before, you will be hearing them, and you'll be ready to implement. Then that will take you to the next level, which is a higher level than the level you were before. Okay? So also, when we say inquiries should be relevant inquiries. We say inquiries should be relevant. Relevant, what does that mean? Actually, there are 9 stages of development of love of God. There are 9 stages of development of love of God. And these stages, each and everyone who want to become pure lover of God must pass through these stages. It doesn't matter whether you are a short man, whether you are a tall man, whether you are a white man, whether you are a black man. It doesn't matter whether you are from Australia, you are from Africa, you are from America, you are from Japan, or you are from China. Any physically embodied being who wants to develop pure love of God, and therefore who has started these 9 processes of bhakti under the guidance of a spiritual master, must be ready to pass through these stages. Don't forget, these practices are an extension of the mercy of the Lord. In some earlier lessons, we talked about how the Lord in the heart, how the Supreme Lord manifests his mercy in different forms. His mercy is manifested as the Lord in the heart. We cannot understand the Lord in the heart. We cannot hear him because of impurities. So the same mercy is manifested as the spiritual master. The same mercy is manifested as the scripture. The same mercy is manifested as the Maha Mantra, the chanting of the holy name. The same mercy is manifested as the 9 processes of bhakti. The same mercy is also manifested, as Siksha gurus. So the Lord is ready to give us his mercy by all means and at all costs. And wherever you go, he will extend his mercy to you. So that is it. That is it. So it is by his mercy that these 9 processes of bhakti are also given. And if you want to attain pure love of God, you must pass through these 9 stages, starting from Shraddha to Sadhu Sangha to Bhajana Kriya to Ananta Nivriti to Nista to Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. But different devotees are on different stages of this development. Not all devotees are on the same stage. Different devotees are on different stages. There are those who just meet devotees. And by meeting the devotees and associating with devotees, they develop faith. That faith will bring them closer for more association. And that association will enable them to wanting to become initiated. So this ISKCON Disciple Course is on this stage, the first 3 stages. Strada, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya, especially, this is the stage where you take initiation. So if you are on the stage of Bhajana Kriya, it is better you ask questions on that stage and the stages before Bhajana Kriya, because we are gradually building up now. You met devotees, they gave you book, they invited you to temple, you come for more association, you come to begin to see how they are singing, how they are doing this, how they are giving classes, how they take pressure, how they live in the embassy of the spiritual world. You come to observe what is going on there. You become attracted, because whatever you are seeing here is completely different from what you knew before. So you want to go further, you want to become officially connected to the global Vaishnava family. Therefore, you want to take initiation. So initiation is the connection point. The point of initiation, that is when the very moment you are officially connected to the global Vaishnava family. And the person who is giving you that connection, who is connecting you, is your Diksha Guru. And to connect you, he made conditions, because you have to leave your old ways and be ready to follow the new ways that is going to be spelled out. And you yourself, because of your association with devotees, you already know, you are already following. You are a dry wood that will make the fire burn. You already know. So he asks you, what are the 4 regulative principles you're going to no meat eating, fish or eggs, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. Jai Gurudev. Say, what more? Say, I will chant 16 rounds every day. See, in that way, it gives you the initiation. So there are conditions. You have to follow this regulative principle, chant 16 rounds, then I will take responsibility for your spiritual life. So this is the contract. You sign the contract with the Guru. So if you are to, your questions, your inquiries are considered relevant when they are within your stage of development. So if you ask questions about Shraddha, how to develop faith in Krishna, the value of Sadhu Sangha, associating with devotees, if you ask questions about taking initiation and what it means and how, then your inquiries are relevant. Your inquiries are actually potent when you are inquiring in order to implement. You are inquiring so that you can implement it. So that's why we say it is not how much you chew, but how much you can swallow. It is not how much questions you ask, but it's how much you are willing to implement to carry out the instructions, the responses given by the Guru. So following is very, very important. Even if you are initiated and you don't follow the instructions, your initiation is null and void. Therefore, following the instructions of the Guru is more important. That's why in conclusion, we say Vani Seva is more important than Vapu Seva. Vapu Seva is when the disciple washing the clothes of the Guru, cleaning his room, bringing items for offering, bringing flowers, physically serving the Guru. But that is simply a subset of Vani. Instructions of the Bhagavad Gita is Vani of Krishna. Yet, even though physically Krishna is gone 5,000 years ago, the instructions still remain intergenerationally until now, until tomorrow, until next tomorrow, until thy kingdom come. The instructions remain. So if you are attached to following the instructions of your guru, you are actually a better follower. So we are going to read some quotations to conclude all that. But before then, we say your inquiry must be relevant. Okay? Relevant inquiry. Ask questions about your level. If you are in primary 1, a local example. If you are in primary 1, you ask questions on the level of primary 1. If you are in primary 2 or 3, you ask questions on that level. When you are in primary 5, you ask questions on that level. And by the time you are in GSS, you ask questions on that level. So asking questions based on the level you are is called relevant inquiry. So it is important that our inquiries are relevant. Okay? You don't go and start asking questions. Are there mosquitoes in the spiritual world? Questions like that. Are there mosquitoes in the spiritual world? Radharani, what is Radharani's relationship with Balaram? Questions like that. The spiritual master will, because it's not on your level yet. So the spiritual master will just say, oh, when we get there, we'll talk about that. But for now, let's focus on how you can become a proper disciple. So ask questions that shows that you want to become a serious disciple. So, or a disciple that is ready to implement the instructions of the guru. A disciple that knows the value of chanting and hearing Bhagavatam. A disciple that is inclined to serving. A disciple that is inclined to follow the Vaishnava etiquettes. You know, very important. So the inquiries must be relevant. Okay? The inquiry must be relevant. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So let us read more of the inquiry from Guru. Inquiring from Guru, yes. This is the stage we are in. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning. But this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. So questions, inquiries should not be challenging. They should be submissive. They are qualified. Inquiries should be submissive inquiries. Submissive means you are not trying to challenge him in order to defeat the person who is giving class. You are putting questions to clarify your doubts so that you can have a clear perception of what you are talking about, so that you can become a better implementer. You can implement what you are saying. So it should be with a proper frame of mind. The attitude must be refined. You must respect the person you are inquiring from, and your inquiry should not be challenging, wanting to defeat the person. No, that is wrong attitude. Okay? Here in this week, okay, this is verb, okay. Inquiring from Guru. One must be jignasu, very much inquisitive, to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science. Jignasu Sreya Uttama. The word Uttama refers to that which is above material knowledge. Okay? So we are still talking on the inquiries. Your inquiries must be about Uttama, about the ultimate goal. It should be transcendental inquiries. Inquiries that clarifies the difference between the body and the soul, and the nature of the soul and as opposed to the nature of the body, the nature of the spiritual world as opposed to the nature of the material world. No differentiation between duality and reality, eternality and materiality, temporality. Questions like this, you must ask. Don't go and ask about geography. Maybe you have read something about sedimentary rock or orographic rain. Then you go and challenge your guru. Gurudev, what is orographic rain? If the guru has not read about orographic rain, he might not be able to explain orographic name. Hey, you see now, he called himself guru, but common orographic name, rain, he cannot explain. You go and ask the guru about tropism in agriculture. That means the response of plant towards external stimuli is called tropism. Then Gurudev, what are the different types of tropisms? What is the meaning of phototropism? Phototropism means the response of plants towards sunlight. It's called phototropism. You go and ask your guru like that. You want to test his brain whether he knows what you know. That is not the type of inquiries. Your inquiries must be Jigyasu Sreya Uttama. It should be about the transcendental subject matter. Okay, that is where the guru is heavy. The guru is not there to teach mathematics or geography or material science. He is there to teach you about the soul and the relationship with the supreme soul and how to perfect that relationship. That's what the guru is about. Okay? So your inquiries must be relevant, and you are not inquiring just for the inquiry's sake. You are inquiring in order to implement. Importance of Guru Vani Seva. Although according to material vision, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada passed away from this material world on the last day of December 1936, I still consider His Divine Grace to be always present with me by His Vani, His words. So this is further emphasizing that associating with the instructions of the Guru is more important than trying to associate with the physical body of the Guru. Okay? You got it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vani continues to exist eternally. Vani continues to exist eternally. So consider the instructions of the spiritual master. They exist even after the physical demise of the spiritual master's body. His instructions still remain. So think of how to implement the instructions of the Guru. Always. He has already instructed you about no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no fish, meat or egg. That means you develop mercy, austerity, cleanliness, and truthfulness. You see? So how much are you developing these qualities? How much are you maintaining the legs of religion? That is very important. You have to think of how to implement. Otherwise, it is null and void. The knowledge without implementation takes you nowhere. Nowhere. Okay? Vani continues to exist internally. There are two ways of association, by Vani and by Vapu. Vani means words, and Vapu means physical presence. Physical presence is sometimes appreciable and sometimes not. But Vani continues to exist eternally. Therefore, we must take advantage of the Vani not the physical present. Like Srila Prabhupada, he has written all his books. And that's one of the reasons why Srila Prabhupada wants all his disciples to read the books. Not just distribute them, but read them first. Internalize them and practice. Let there be transformation in you. Then you now go and give it to others. So there was a time that Prabhupada went to the West in those days when book distribution was heavy. There were big book distributors globally, Sankirtan devotees. And Srila Prabhupada arrived in London. Then all the stalwart Sankirtan generals, they converged in Bhaktivedanta manner. Precisely. And Srila Prabhupada asked them, what is the most important thing as far as you've understood in Krishna consciousness? What is the most important thing? Then different stalwart book distributors, Sankirtan, book distribution, this, that. Prabhupada said, no, they were shocked. They were shocked. Book distribution is not the most important thing. This, then he said, so temple construction, said, no. Cultivating life members, no. Doing food for life, no. The Prabhupada said, okay, then what? Say, reading my books. Studying my books is the most important thing. You study the book, then you know what the books are talking about. You live by it. Then you have the potency to distribute it. So the most important thing for you to read he said, I myself, I read my books. That's why these systematic study programs are very, very important. Why? Because if you are reading Srila Prabhupada's books, you are directly associating with Srila Prabhupada through his instructions. Therefore, it becomes clear that Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Siksha Guru in ISKCON. And even if there is any obstruction as far as Guru and disciple behavior, still Srila Prabhupada's instruction remain pure. The Gurus became Guru by studying and implementing Srila Prabhupada's instructions. And all new devotees, all new disciples, those who come new to the temple, they are all advised to read Srila Prabhupada books. It's by reading Srila Prabhupada books that people come to the temple. And by continuing to read Srila Prabhupada books, they get purified because they are associating their mind with Srila Prabhupada's instructions directly. They are associating with pure devotee. So it is very, very important. And anybody, when they say the pure devotee is prophylactic, Krishna in the Sri Upanishad, he said that Krishna is prophylactic and antiseptic. That means Sudam apapa vidam, sinful reaction do not touch him. So it's antiseptic and it's also prophylactic. Prophylactic there means it is pure. Krishna is pure, supremely pure. So whatever comes in contact with him also become purified. And not only will it become purified, anybody that come in contact with whoever has come in contact with him that have become pure also become purified. So the purifying potency of Krishna is transferred to all those who come in contact with him and the pure devotees that they are purified. Therefore, the pure devotees carry that purifying potency from Krishna. So they can also purify whoever comes in contact with them. See? Therefore, a pure devotee is prophylactic because Krishna is prophylactic and antiseptic. The pure devotees are also prophylactic and antiseptic because they carry out the instructions of Krishna. And that gives them the purifying potency. They become purified and they can purify whatever comes in contact with them. All glories to pure devotees. Ki Jai. So
Jai.
we are very fortunate to be in contact with the pure devotees through the chain of disciplic succession, the Guru Paramparам. That's why the Guru Parampara is very important. And the Guru one cannot become a Guru unless he is properly connected to the Parampara. That means he has to be authorized by a purified devotee. He transferred that purity to him, and he also become qualified to purify others. All by following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and putting them into practice exemplarily. So this is a very beautiful movement we have had. The process remains. Even though the individuals come and go, the process still remains. Why? Because the instructions are there. And the instructions are not different from the Prabhupada. And Krishna's instructions are not different from him. So 5,000 years ago, he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Today, we are studying Bhagavad Gita. And this Bhagavad Gita is as it is, maintained by the prophylactic devotees of the Lord, the pure devotees of the Lord, carrying the purifying potency of the Lord. And they are doing it, just doing it. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya said, just become a devotee. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are able to follow and you know the science of bhakti, you are also qualified to be a guru. Therefore, he gave instruction. Vacho vegam, krodam, manasa vegam, jiva vegam, dharapasta vegam. Eta vegam, yo visayeta dira. That one who is able to control the urges of the senses, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. It doesn't matter whether, even if you are from Africa, if you know the science of Krishna, if you are able to follow the principles, and you are able to practice Vaishnava etiquette, that means you are wearing the ornaments of the Vaishnava. You become glorious, and therefore you can really, truly represent. First initiation is enough to go back to Godhead. Yes, first initiation alone is enough to go back to Godhead. But they give second initiation, because when they observe, when the guru structure, when the administrative structure observe that you are following properly, that means they say, yes, this person can properly represent the movement. Then they give you the second initiation as a catalyst to accelerate your rate of, practicing. You see? Catalyst. The other day we were defining what a catalyst is in chemistry. A catalyst is a substance that accelerates the rate of chemical reactions, but remain chemically unchanged at the end of the reaction. It's a catalyst. So Gayatri mantra or second initiation is a catalyst. It's to accelerate your rate of practice and intensity so that you can represent the movement properly. Well, you can now represent the movement properly. That is the meaning of God. So, here I say, although according to material vision, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada passed away from this world. Okay, we read that one. Yes. Yes. There are two ways of association by Vani and by Vapu. Vani means words and Vapu means physical presence. Physical presence is sometimes appreciated and sometimes not. But Vani continues to exist eternally. Therefore, we must take advantage of the Vani, not the physical presence. The Bhagavad Gita, for example, is the Vani of Lord Krishna. Although Krishna was personally present 5,000 years ago and is no longer physically present from the materialistic point of view, the Bhagavad Gita continues. Okay, that's in the next slide, I think. Yes, the Bhagavad Gita, for example, is the Vani of Lord Krishna. Although Krishna was personally present 5,000 years ago and is no longer physically present from the materialistic point of view, the Bhagavad Gita continues. So,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I will Dandavat pronounce.
Pronounce all glories.
All glories. Please, I want to ask a question if
Yeah, please ask your question.
yes. I don't know if I'm qualified to ask that question, but I want to ask what's the essence of the Gayatri mantra since the Hare Krishna mantra, which is the Maha mantra, is there. What's the essence of the Gayatri mantra also? Thanks. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I thought I already explained that. Now, my explanation is that actually the Hare Krishna mantra is enough to take one back home back to Godhead. But the Gayatri mantra, when they observe that you are strictly following and you are chanting your mantra sincerely, Gayatri mantra is given to you to accelerate the process. It's an accelerator, it's a catalyst. You get it? And that's why I defined a catalyst. In chemistry, catalyst is defined as a substance which accelerates the rate of chemical reaction but remains chemically unchanged at the end of the reaction. A catalyst is a substance that accelerates the rate of chemical reaction but remains chemically unchanged at the end of the reaction. So catalyst here means it boosts your practice and confirm more that yes, you can represent the movement properly. So you are giving Gayatri mantra so that you can represent the movement on some higher level. But the Maha mantra itself is enough to take you back to God. So even if you don't become a Brahmana, you can still go back to God by taking full shelter. Nevertheless, since you want to officially represent the movement properly, you conduct yourself in a way that authorities become pleased with you. They give you the Brahmana. Then you chant additional mantras to support, to boost your, your motivation. You got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, that is it. It's a catalyst. It's a catalyst. Okay, so here, read a little bit more. Bani's importance of Guru Bani Seva. So far, personal association with the Guru is concerned, I was only with my Guru Maharaj 4 or 5 times, but I have never left his association, not even for a moment, because I am following his instructions. You can see, if you are following the instructions of the Guru is always with you, and you are always with the Guru. I have never felt any separation. See? Those who follow the instructions of the Guru never feel that the Guru is separate. They're far away from him. He always feels the presence of the Guru. The Guru is actually present with him. He is present in his instruction. There are some of my God brothers here in India who had constant personal association with Guru Maharaj. Therefore, we say, Guru Maharaj association, physical association, very good, though. But they are neglecting his orders. This is just like the bug who sits on the lap of the king. He may be very puffed up by his position, but all he can succeed in doing is biting the king. Personal association is not so important as association through service. You get it? You can be very close to the Guru physically, and you will just end up committing offenses, thinking that the Guru is an ordinary man. I see Guru sleep. It was me who woke him up. You begin to consider the Guru an ordinary man. The more you go close, the more you begin to think, hey, Guru is an ordinary man. Maya is tricking you. So you have to be very, very careful. The more advanced devotees, they stay at a distance and they carry out the instructions of the Guru. And therefore, the Prabhupada is even reminding you like this, that the bug or mosquito will sit on the lap of the king, but all what he could do is to bite the king and suck his blood. So what is the use of such physical association? Conversely, there are those devotees who stay far away from the Guru, but they are carrying the instructions of the Guru, that the Guru is always with them, and they never feel separated from the Guru. The Guru is so Srila Prabhupada's case was like that. It was only 4 or 5 times in the physical association of his Guru, but he was constantly thinking of implementing the message for 44 years. He was constantly thinking of it, preparing, and finally he carried it out. And the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, is the result. And by that, Srila Prabhupada built a house in which the whole world can live. That is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And we are living in it. We are living in that house now. That is ISKCON. But you are advised that when you are living in that house, don't break the house. Differently said, ISKCON is a transcendental boat. When you are in that transcendental boat, stay within the boat. Don't jump out of the boat. Don't jump out. Because if you jump out and you fall into the sea, the ocean of nescience, the timingila fish, the shark, and other sea monsters, aquatic monsters, will just devour the person very violently. So don't jump into the sea. That means don't jump out of the boat. Don't also crack holes on the boat. But if you crack holes on the boat, water will enter through that, then the whole boat will capsize, and you put everybody in danger. Therefore, follow the principles. To stay within the boat and not to crack the boat means follow the principles. When you become a devotee, the principle, the vows you make before your Guru, follow the vows. Very, very important. Otherwise, you become like somebody who is jumping out of the boat for the timingila fish and the aquatic monsters to devour the person, or you are cracking holes, putting holes on the boat so that water can enter through and endanger everybody's life, capsize the boat. Okay? So he's saying Vani is more important. Is more important. That to carry out the teachings of Guru is more important than to worship the form. But none of them should be neglected. Form is called Vapu and teachings is called Vani. Both should be worshipped. Vani is more important than Vapu. So you can get it. Then he made the example of the bird. See, if you can try to fulfill my mission, okay, it's also there. Please be happy in separation. I am separated from my Guru Maharaj since 1936, but I am always with him. So long I walk according to his direction. So we should always walk together for satisfying Lord Krishna. And in that way, the feelings of separation will transform into transcendental bliss. Srila Prabhupada agreed with that. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada has given us, so kindly fulfill my mission. That will be our constant association. So far I'm concerned, I do not factually feel any separation from my spiritual master because I'm trying to serve him according to his desire. That should be the motto. If you kindly try to fulfill my mission, for which you have been sent there, that will be our constant association. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
If somebody is not saying Jai, I will identify the person.
Yeah. I managed to listen. Or I'm driving, but I'll still listen.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We appreciate your endeavor. Okay. So we are saying that when going to hear from a spiritual master, we must be eager to hear from him. Eagerness to hear from him is called Vani Seva, and we should be equally eager to practice what we have heard. Shravanandas. Eagerness to hear. Then, when we hear something, we ponder over what we hear. We meditate, we should meditate on what we hear. Ponder over it, ponder about it, ponder over it, meditate on it. From just hearing is one thing, but you go further to ponder, to meditate on what you heard. Then you put it into practice. What you have heard, by meditating on it constantly, you put it into practice. Okay? And when you do that, gradually your life becomes regulated and it becomes continuous. Your meditation becomes continuous. Then from there, you get realization of the Lord and his presence and your relationship with him. Don't hear from one ear and let it go out from the other ear. That kind of hearing is not important. And we say a pig can also hear. If there is some big noise threat that, oh, there's a bombshell, the pig will hear it. When human being hear that there's bomb, everybody will be running, trying to take shelter. If government has given, everybody should come. Okay. Enter the boat. There will be flood, like the Noah case. Everybody who cares will come and enter the boat. God has provided the boat. Take different species of the animals, enter the boat. Those who have heard properly, they will endeavor to enter the boat. But those who hear like pig, it will enter from one ear and it will pass through the other. Say, that one is not for me, Joe. It will be there. The pig will continue after hearing that instruction. It will continue to be eating his tune. Continue to eat you until the flood will come and carry him away. He had, but he did not take it serious. He entered from here, he come out from there. He is busy eating, is absorbed in eating sense gratification. All what he want to hear is how to eat stool better and better. That's what he want to hear. He doesn't want to hear the stop eating stool. You see? So it is not how much we eat, but how much we can digest. And similarly, it's not how much we hear or read, but it is how much you can practice and implement. And that is it. That brings us to the end of lesson 10. End of lesson 10. Key, Jai.
Jai.
So now we are going to go to lesson 11. This lesson 11 is entitled Guru Tyaga. We have 14 lessons. Today we are in lesson 11. We have 14 lessons. So you can imagine how close we are towards the end. And some of these lessons are not very long. We have done the long ones. So, Guru Tyaga, or rejection of a spiritual master. Actually, this is quite a difficult subject matter. It is a difficult subject matter. Rejection of a spiritual master. It's not something we would like to talk about. Because if we talk about this, first, it gives the impression that it may develop in us some attitude towards our present guru that our present spiritual master sometimes can go wrong. You know, you see, if we are not careful, we might be forced to think that, oh, some of these spiritual master, present spiritual master, they are not pure enough. They can go wrong, and we need to reject them and all that. That is not something that is sweet to think about, because before we realize, we are committing offenses. And also, if we talk about this kind of topic, we can become overly judgmental. And sometimes our judgment is based on how we perceive what is right and what is wrong as per the behavior of a spiritual master, not according to the scriptural injunction. We can consider things from our own level, and in that way, we'll be committing offenses, trying to judge God with this. So, it is not a sweet subject matter. Nevertheless, we need to talk about it because there have been cases when some spiritual masters were doing certain things and disciples did not query, and later it turned out to be disaster. If they had queried it earlier, following appropriate measures, maybe things would have been saved. But so many things were jeopardized because disciples, couldn't think about Guru having faults or whether Guru is deviating or something. They couldn't think about that. And it is good to be mature. It is good to know what is our standard. And if somebody is going out of the standard, we should be able to know also. So we are not saying that we should try to develop some poor attitudes towards our existing guru, thinking that they can fall and therefore not take them serious. And we are also not saying that you should become judgmental, so judgmental that you begin to judge the activities of the guru based on our own perception of what is proper behavior and what is not proper behavior. Speculative perception. Instead, what we are saying is that somehow or the other, if a guru does not maintain the expected standard, in terms of Srila Prabhupada's instructions and our laid down rules and regulations, then theoretically, we need to know this, what to do, what not to do. We are not praying that such situations will come and become a challenge, but we are only theoretically trying to know what to do in case it happens. We are not praying for it. So can we remember any situation in the scripture where a disciple rejected his spiritual master? Can any of us remember a situation, either from the Puranas or from the Bhagavatam or somewhere, where a disciple rejected the guru? Okay, before that, say principle and procedure of Guru Tyaga. A teacher who engages in an abominable action is fit to be abandoned. According to scriptural codes, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. This is Bhagavad Gita 2:5. Then spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy. According to revealed scriptures, a teacher or spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy of the position of a guru or spiritual master. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:743. Then a quotation comes. Guru api avaliptasya karyayam ajnanataha upata pratipanasya parityago vidyati parityago guru tyaga parityago vidyati. If the guru becomes attached to sense gratification, that is avaliptasya. Avaliptasya. If the guru becomes attached to sense gratification, listen attentively. These are the circumstances under which a guru can be rejected. If the guru becomes attached to sense gratification, it can be rejected. 2, if the guru loses his sense of duty, if he loses his sense of duty and start acting outside of the paramparam, it can be rejected. That is karyam ajanataha. Karyam ajanataha. It can be rejected if he loses his sense of duty and also follows a degraded path. Like if a guru becomes Mayavadi, begin to blaspheme against personalism, start preaching in personalism and all that, it can be abandoned. A path other than devotional service of the Lord is to be rejected. This is from Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva, 179 to 125. So this is it. Let me. Joshua, you're always going and coming, going and coming, going and coming, going and coming, going and coming. Joshua is always going and coming, going and coming, going and coming. Joshua is a master of going and coming, going and coming.
Oh, Pro, today it seems like my network is giving me a lot of trouble. And this one to my data has run out, so I just bought a new one.
Okay. That's why you are going and coming and going and coming. Oh, wait, I'm opening the wrong. This is a Guru Tiaga or Guru. Oh, no. This is not what I wanted to open. Let me stop this first. But so you see the circumstances under which a guru can be rejected. If he becomes attached to sense gratification, avaliptasya can be rejected. If he loses his sense of duty, karyam ajanataha, it can be rejected. And if he follows a degraded path, a path other than devotional service of the Lord, that is called pratipanasya parityago, can be rejected. Parityago. These are very serious subject matters. To be rejected. Can we remember any instance in the scripture when a guru got rejected or rejected, when a disciple rejected his guru? I can remember. If you can't remember, I can remember one right now. Should I tell you? Should I tell you? You want to remember? I will tell
Yes,
you.
Prabhu.
I will tell you, even if you don't ask me now. Bali Maharaj rejected his spiritual master. Who is the spiritual master of Bali Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Huh? Who is the spiritual master of Bali Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Sukra Acharya. Sukra Acharya is the spiritual master of Bali Maharaj. When Krishna incarnated as a dwarf, Brahmana, in the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is a disciple of Sukracharya. But, I mean, he's the best among the demons, actually. He appears to be a demon, but he's actually a devotee among the demons. So, when he was performing his Jagya, Vishnu appeared there as a dwarf Brahmana called Upendra. So this Brahmana approached Bali Maharaj because after doing the rituals and midday rituals, anybody that appear, stranger that appeared before you, you have to give him whatever he requests for. So Vishnu is all-knowing now. He is the Lord in the heart also. So he immediately appeared. He wanted to favor the demigods. Because the demons have conquered Bali Maharaj's superintendents. Under his superintendence, they have conquered the demigods, and demigods are running at us. They went to Vishnu, and Vishnu had to come and save them. So he came as a dwarf Brahmana. He asked for 3 steps of land. Immediately, Bali Maharaj was so obliged because Maharaj is a devotee at heart. He was playing the role of a demon, but he was a devotee at heart. So, yeah, he's a Brahmana. He has asked for 3 steps of land. The Bali Maharaj said, but this is quite childish. I'm the king of all the 14 worlds. Right now, all the demigods have taken over the heavenly planets also. So if you want to ask something from me, ask for something tangible. You want to ask vast land, you want to ask for villages, and we give. You're asking for 3 steps of land. Anyway, little wonder that you are a child, so children don't know what is actually good for them. They can be asking for toys. You need 3 steps of land. Say yes. Only 3 steps. The Brahmanas are not greedy. So he took the first step, covered the whole universe, took the second, covered the heavenly planets. Say, so where do I put the test? Third one. He said, put it on my head. But before then, as he was purifying his hand, trying to give the benediction, Sukracharya, he immediately became smaller than the smallest. He entered the hole of the kettle. And like the Buddha that they use in Muslims use in washing their hands. Immediately he blocked the hole. The Bali Maharaj got it, just took him out. Because he told him, don't give him. He has come to take away everything from you, Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj said, if the Supreme Lord, who is the source of everything, wants to take everything from me, what do I have to gain? Everything is meant for the service of the Supreme Lord. So he rejected the spiritual master's instruction. And he rejected him. If for the sake of Vishnu, he can do anything. Bali Maharaj example, very, very great example. So the Lord took everything from him, pushed him down to the lower planets, and still went there to be his gate man. So Bali Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans. You can see him on the screen. Can you see my screen? Oh.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Then another story also is Ramanuja Acharya. Is one of our great acharyas. He also rejected his Guru Maharaj. His first guru was called Yadav Prakash. Yadav Prakash at a point was preaching Mayavadi philosophy. He was preaching Mayavadi philosophy seriously, trying to condemn. We were comparing the lotus eyes of the Supreme Lord to be like the eye of a monkey. I was trying to equate derogatively. So Ramanuja got upset and he challenged him and he defeated him philosophically, his own guru. And the guru decided to send him away. With this attitude, you cannot stay here. Ramanuja Acharya said, I don't need to stay in such association. I'm going. He rejected his spiritual master like that. So these are two glaring examples in the Shastra. Having said that, we move further. How does ISKCON? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So, if a disciple, like the example that you have cited right now, can the disciples take another initiation again after they have rejected their guru? Is it possible for them to retake initiation?
Yes, we are coming to that. Why not? Why not? If the guru is not on track, the spiritual man says he reject him, he can take re-initiation. If the guru is falling. Okay, by mistake, you have come to a rascal. You can reject him. Even though somebody by mistake has gone to a rascal, the book is there. As soon as you find out there is a rascal who does not know anything about Krishna and have come to him, reject him. That is stated in the Shastra. Guru api avalipsyate karya vajanata aparityago vijayate. Even by mistake, you have come to the rascal who does not know how to become guru. You can reject him. Why should you stick to him? Reject him. Compared to be like a socket that is you use in charging your phone. You charge your phone, you plug it into the socket, and if you find that the socket is spoiled, what do? You plug out and go and plug into the one that is functioning, isn't it? Somebody should say, yes, it is. If you are charging your phone and you have a socket, you plug there and you find out the socket is spoiled. You have been using it before, but it's spoiled now. What you need to do is to remove your cable and your charger head and go and plug it into the one that is functioning, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
As simple as that. Yes, it is. So similarly, when the guru is deviating, and it becomes very clear that yes, it's true that he's not following, then the guru, the disciple can reject him, but there are procedures you need to follow in rejecting a guru. There are procedures. When it is clear that truly a guru is doing abominable activities, it's not representing the Parampara again. The disciple can reject him. Then the question is, how does ISKCON protect disciples in case of a guru who proves himself unworthy of the position? Because ISKCON is an institution. Spiritual life is individual, but the individual spiritual life is functioning within an institution. So how does the institution protect a disciple whose guru has deviated? Because the duty of ISKCON to protect the devotees. Because the time the person took, gave the initiation, the person was in good standing. So once initiated, is properly connected. But now is deviating. So the spiritual master, the disciples should be protected. How does ISKCON protect the disciples of a guru that is found to have deviated? There are other gurus. Okay. there are other gurus who are there. You can take shelter of other gurus. And ISKCON has made an arrangement to protect those disciples. And one of the arrangements is that he can take initiation from another guru who is in good standing. Then the GBC Devotee Care Committee has also made arrangements. They have put some measures in place in order to protect the devotees. When such a situation happens, you consult the authorities and they will guide you how to go about it. And that is exactly why ISKCON is also always highlighting the position of Srila Prabhupada as a preeminent guru, that everyone, regardless of who your guru is, you are also a disciple of Srila Prabhupada too. So if a situation arises where your guru deviates, you should continue to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada by reading Srila Prabhupada books, following his instruction while in the waiting to identify some other gurus that you can also, because you need the physical presence of a guru too, so that you can observe him how he's doing the devotional service, and he can receive your services, and you can observe him and see his example of how he's doing in order for you to also look up to that. You need a guru, physical, to guide you. Super Soul is talking, but you are not hearing. So you need a guru who will confirm the words of the Super Soul. Super Soul itself manifests as a guru to guide you. So that is needed. Okay? So that is why we emphasize the Prabhupada position, that both for the future generation and for the present generation, any devotee that may have any difficulties, you can still take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, read Prabhupada books profusely, and try to follow the instructions. So you need that, and you need the physical guru also. So along the line, the systematic structure of ISKCON, we reveal to you what next, how to go about taking a new guru. Okay? ISKCON as a body institutionally offers such facility for re-initiation. Okay? And that is why I give the example of the socket. If a particular socket where you are charging your phone is spoiled, you will not say you will not charge your phone again because that socket has spoiled. You have to look for a socket that is functioning. Then you plug your phone there and charge your phone. Okay? So there is opportunity for re-initiation. But how to go about it, you'll be guided by your immediate authorities when that time comes. We are not praying for situations like that to come. We are praying that our gurus are protected also so that they will not fall. Because the Vaishnava etiquettes can protect anyone who observe them. You protect the Vaishnava etiquette will protect you. If you protect Dharma, religious principles will protect you. So our prayer is not for anybody to fall or have challenges so that we start renouncing the man, looking for someone else. But if the inevitable happens, sometimes Krishna allows that to teach lessons also. Nobody is indefatigable. So everybody must try to act within the confines of the rules and regulations. So if you listen as somebody who did until he become guru can fall, that means you are nothing. Maya can just sweep you off. And we should not forget the tests on the higher level are more sophisticated than the tests on the lower level. So if a guru happens to have challenges, don't ever laugh at the guru. Hey, guru has fallen. Don't celebrate on it. That will be your doom. Because the test, the calculus he was solving is far more complex than the polynomials that you were solving in your high school. You're solving polynomial in your high school, you were solving quadratic in your secondary school. You are solving division and multiplication in your primary school. So the test, the complexity or the complex nature of the test that gurus receive cannot be equated to the type that you receive. So if you see a guru have challenges, don't celebrate, otherwise you meet your doom. So that's why we are not praying for such situations, but in case it happens, we are prepared. So that is it. ISKCON has a procedure to absorb you, to just operate under the guidance. Then procedures for lodging concerns regarding guru. If something is happening, guru falling or something deviating doesn't happen overnight. You know, we can all observe. If something is going on, we can see. But sometimes we see, but we are unable to talk because we are afraid of offenses. So, but then, if we observe anything like that, that the way of the guru is now becoming clear again, he's not attending any Mangalati again, he's not chanting, we never see him chant, he's always sleeping, or he's always associating with the opposite sex in the name of counseling or whatever, that you see that is not right. You cannot directly challenge him, but there is a procedure. So procedure for lodging concerns regarding guru, that is a topic also. So what are some of those procedures? According to the student handbook, page 55, there are 3 ways a disciple may express concern in relation to their guru in consultation with the temple and GBC authorities. We have GBC authorities. You can express your concern to them. Then Siksha gurus, some senior devotees that are trusted, that are in good standing, that have been guiding you, you can also confide in them. Then there is also a body, a conflict resolution body in ISKCON. It's called ISKCON Resolve. They resolve conflicts of all kinds. You can also consult with them. They handle financial issues. If there is misappropriation of finance, that body is also there, ISKCON Resolve. Then all other kind of issues, they can. And also you can write anonymous letter to any of your Siksha gurus that you have faith on. You will write the letter expressing to him what you have observed, and at the same time, your name is not there. You can read it and try to address the issue. Because there are also some cases where a guru might be in good standing, but a disciple may have some ego problem. First ego is making him think himself that he's no more than the guru. He can chant more, they can do. We want to minimize the guru. In that case, rejection of guru is very, very dangerous. You don't reject guru based on your speculation or your ego issues. There should be real evidence that the guru is not acting according to ISKCON standards and is going out of the regulations. And you have proper evidence before you can. So There are some whimsical disciples who can do that. So we are going to read some of the things on the screen. If you give up the company of a spiritual master, that is not good for you. But when one leaves a spiritual master, the spiritual master, there may be some reason. That reason is also given in the Shastra. Guru api avaliptasya karya karyam ajanatara karya akarya. If the spiritual master does not know what is actually to be done, what is actually not to be done, and he acts against the rules and regulations of the Shastra, then such spiritual master may be given up. But so long you do not find the spiritual master is doing against the principles of Shastra or Guru, then if you give up the company of the spiritual master, that is not good for you. That is your downfall. Okay, that's what we have on the board. According to revealed scriptures, a teacher or spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy of the position of a guru or spiritual master. Principles and procedures of Guru Tyaga. Guru api abalipsyasya karya karyam ajanata. Upata pratipanasya parityago vidyate. What does that mean? If the guru becomes attached to sense gratification, loses his sense of duty, and follows a degraded path, a path other than devotional service to the Lord, he should be rejected. Procedures for lodging complaints, that's where we are. One's temple authority. Every temple has authority. You can lodge your complaint there if you observe something that is not clear. One sister gurus, senior devotees that are giving you advice, the ones you trust. But you write letter to them, make it anonymous letter. Don't put your name there. ISKCON Resolve. ISKCON Resolve is a body, set up by the GBC to look into conflicting situations. So they are there to care for devotees on all levels. Why not to reject a fallen guru? If a guru is engaged in sense gratification, violating one or more of the regulative principles, but there is hope that it can be rectified, then his disciples should not reject him, but should allow time for such rectification to take place. And they should take shelter as the Prabhupada and senior Vaishnavas as Shiksha Gurus. So we've already explained that. You have to be careful. Don't be quick to rejecting your guru. But for the meantime, when you observe some inconsistencies, then you take more shelter of Srila Prabhupada by reading Srila Prabhupada books more. Within that time, also by getting guidance from senior devotees that you trust. But don't just go ahead to quickly renounce your guru. Give time. While taking shelter as the Prabhupada. Please always try to remember me by my teachings, and we shall always be together. Just like I have written in the first publication of Srimad Bhagavatam, the spiritual master lives forever by his divine instruction, and the disciples live with him. Because I have always served my Guru Maharaj and followed his teachings, I am now even ever separated. I'm even never separated from him. So that is it. So these are the procedures. And now, if you give out the company of the group, have I read that? Yeah. As long as your mantra guru is present, you cannot go elsewhere. One day, Srila Gadadhara Pandit revealed to the Lord his reason for wanting reinitiation. He said, I have revealed my Easter mantra, the mantra of one's worshipable deity that I received from my guru to an undeserving person. And since then, my mind is disturbed. My Lord, you kindly reinitiate me with the same Easter mantra, then my mind will become jubilant again. The Lord replied, be very careful that you do not commit any offenses to your guru, the one who instructed you on the Easter mantra. As long as your mantra guru is present, you cannot go elsewhere or even come to me. This will jeopardize the spiritual life of both you and me. Switch it out. Buddha Kalutsi Sas Tena Duratmiam Prakati Kritam. Guru Yena Parityaktas Tena Tyakta Pura Hari. One pollutes his own intelligence and exhibits severe weakness of character when he rejects his own spiritual master. Indeed, such a person has already rejected the Supreme Lord. Okay, then the next question is rectification or reinitiation. Reinitiation. A devotee who, considering GBC guidelines on the subject of rejecting a guru and consulting with senior ISKCON devotees, had decided to reject his non-bona fide guru, may seek initiation from an approved ISKCON guru. Normal procedures as applicable in the case of first and second initiation are described elsewhere in ISKCON law book should be followed. Least ways a disciple can continue to be connected to Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Paramparam and ISKCON in case of Guru Tyaga before being reinitiated. What are the ways he can still remain connected before being reinitiated? We will give the example of when a plug gets spoiled, where you are charging your phone, when it gets fault. What you do is to plug out, then you plug in somewhere. Okay. So that is the principle. You can take reinitiation, but procedure to follow. So the question is, between now that this has happened and the time that you will get reinitiation, how do you function? Yes. And we can function effectively within that interval by regularly reading Srila Prabhupada's books and following the instructions therein. Take shelter of Prabhupada Vani. Then, by continuously reading Srila Prabhupada's books, constantly hearing Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and continue his service, can continue your service to the Paramparam. Just continue your service to the Paramparam also, as you have done before. The services you are doing before, you continue to do them. And you continue to follow your vows. 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 Not that a guru has fallen, then you now stop following your vows also. No. Please always try to remember me by my teachings, and we shall always be together. Please try to remember me by my teachings, and we shall always be together. Just like I've written in my first publication on Srimad Bhagavatam, spiritual master lives forever by his divine instruction, and the disciples live with him. Because I've always had my Guru Maharaj and followed his teachings, I am now even never separated. So that is the secret. But before we conclude, let us read Appendix. Appendix 4. The second half of Appendix 4. See, you should get your student handbook so that you can also be reading. In this appendix, page 71, if you have the student handbook, page 71, sanctioning of gurus by the GBC. These are some of the things you need to hear. The GBC body may apply any of the following sanctions against the guru for misconduct, warning, or censure. If a guru is found deviating from or neglecting spiritual practices, but the deviation or negligence is not very severe or habitual, or if a guru is transgressing the approved standards and guidelines for guru behavior, such as canvassing for disciples, etc., the guru should be warned or censored confidentially. Like this ISKCON disciple course we are doing now, for instance. It is not the duty of a guru to do it, because the disciple, the potential disciple, should not be intimidated to taking initiation from a particular guru. If a guru himself is conducting this course, he will do in a way that everybody is teaching will take initiation from him, not somewhere. There is a tendency for him to try to influence them to take initiation from him, or indirectly use the opportunity to canvass for disciples for himself. So if that happens, because it is a law that gurus should not canvass for disciples, understand? Though sometimes we see that disciples of the particular guru will be canvassing for disciples for his guru secretly. But a guru should not involve himself in canvassing for disciples. A guru should not do that. Take initiation from me. No, the temptation is always there. If somebody, a potential initiate, is a rich person, he has Lashmi or he has connection. Sometimes a guru can just consider that this person, anytime he needs donation, he can give big donation. Can give big donation. Then he starts convincing him to take initiation from him. Such things can happen. Okay? Such things can happen. Such things can happen. So, for such sakes, the gurus themselves are not supposed to conduct this course. A neutral person should conduct the course. Like I'm conducting this course now. I'm not a guru, not a Diksha guru. So I will not convince anybody to take initiation from me. I'll be free from that temptation. Now, if an initiating guru is conducting this course, it's within that temptation of canvassing for disciples. So if a guru is seen and known to be canvassing for disciples, then the ISKCON Guru authority can consult him, call for him, and give him some warning or censure. They should censor him confidentially, not openly anyway. So they can call him, say, to a board, and let him know that we are hearing that you are doing this, you are hearing that you are doing that. Please stop. The censor him. Then second, if he continues, if the warnings are not heeded, or if the deviation or neglect of spiritual practices are of a more serious nature, or if the transgressions of guru codes of behavior are serious and habitual, then the guru may be put under probation with specific conditions which regulate his guru functions, including temporary withdrawal of authorization to initiate new disciples. In addition, he may be given general recommendations or specific activities to perform as part of a program for his rectification and eventual reinstatement. So he can be put on probation. Then, if a guru blatantly ignores the terms of probation or repeatedly breaks one or more of the regulative principles, or acts in a manner which seriously and harmfully disregards existing ISKCON or GBC policies, or leaves his ashram or sannyas without authorization, or leaves the association of devotees and the ISKCON movement, or completely deviates from standard sadhana, he may be suspended. If a guru is suspended, he cannot give initiation nor maintain an absolute sexual position in relation with his disciples, nor be introduced as a spiritual master, nor perform his guru functions, such as receiving guru puja or the acceptance of dakshina. These are serious subject matters. They are very dangerous subject matters to talk about. So we will not over-elaborate on it. We are just reading it out that is in the appendix. You want to read it, you can go and read it. Then, if that situation persists, the first is warning, the second is probation, the third is suspension, and now removal. If a guru becomes openly inimical to Srila Prabhupada or ISKCON, or otherwise acts demonically, or becomes an impersonalist or Mayavadi, or preaches the unauthorized philosophy of Apasampradaya groups against Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principle, or blatantly and consistently defies ISKCON and GBC policies, or if a guru's attachment to sense gratification is serious, prolonged, or hopeless, then, as per Sastric injunction, it shall be removed from his position as Diksha or Siksha. That is it. Heavy subject matter, not to be discussed too much. I can give an example. Considering the sensitive nature of this topic, one may explain that in the same way as when one boards an aircraft, one is briefed on procedures to follow in the case of a crash. Okay? It is in this mood that we are talking about this topic. You know? Because when aircraft is taking off, they brief us, we are not expecting a crash. But the passengers are being educated on how to escape in case of emergency. They tell you under your seatbelt, there's a parachute, something happened like this, you should realize that they're giving that is to equip you in case it happens. Then, however, that does not imply that the plane will crash. So in this course, we get a briefing on how to respond in case of guru falling down. However, this does not imply that one's guru will fall down, okay? Mention that in this is equally relevant for Diksha and Siksha gurus, okay? Then the sanctioning of the guru by GBC, as we just read. How does ISKCON protect disciples in case of guru? That we have also talked about. So continue to read Srila Prabhupada books, continue to do his services unconditionally, continue to get guidance from the gurus in good standing. Okay. For example, there was a case that was lodged with ISKCON Resolve, where a disciple felt that his guru was spending too much time counseling a female disciple who was widowed. But ISKCON Resolve addressed the issue with the guru, and everything was resolved in an appropriate manner. These are sensitive issues, and we are human beings, so we don't, offend each other emotionally. We have to be very sensitive when things are sensitive. Okay? The topic of reinitiation is controversial in ISKCON. So those seeking further information on these topics can consult these GBC papers produced in 1990 to 1995. Can find those papers with some GBC authorities, which are available on the internet also. Then facilitators may opt for a group skit, which we didn't do. And in this way, Aribo, this topic, Guru Tiaga, is not a sweet topic to discuss, but somehow or the other, we have to discuss it in the mood of when an aircraft is taking off, the passengers are educated on how to protect, escape if there is any emergency. Nevertheless, they are not expecting that the plane will crash. So we are not expecting gurus to fall. But in case it happens like this, these are the procedures. So on this note, we bring the class to an end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Are there some questions or commentaries on these points?
No, sir.
The time is also gone. We appreciate you so much for your consistency. We started by 7, and it's 9, and it's exactly 2 hours. We thank you very much. On Saturday, we are going to address Lesson 12. Lesson 12 we addressed on Saturday. That means by next weekend, we'll be through with this ISKCON Disciple course. Then we'll write exams. Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Kwame Yayo, thank you, Dr. Richard Boma. Thank you, Iswari Amposa. Sorry, Isa Priya Devidasi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Joshua Amejuo. And thank you, Felice Boku. We appreciate you.
So I just arrived home. I just reached parking car.
Eh?
I just arrived home.
Oh, wonderful,
I'm
wonderful,
just
wonderful.
parking the car.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That is determination. Try. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But we are going to talk, okay?
Okay.
Those who are missing classes to go and listen to this on YouTube, then they should take notes and send the notes to me by WhatsApp or WhatsApp, so that we'll be together, okay? Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
ISKCON founder Charles La A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Guru Tiaga ki Jai. We are afraid of that kind of topic, but we have to still talk about it. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
see you on
Krishna.
we are afraid
Saturday.
to say bye.
See you on Saturday. Hare
for good.
You know, to think that your superiors will fall. And when they fall, what you should do. Anyway, it's theoretical.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.